CBS News aviation and safety consultant Captain Sullenberger is out this morning with an opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal. He writes about a new FAA rule giving commercial airline pilots longer breaks between shifts. It expands rest periods to 10 hours long from 8. It also caps the amount of time pilots can fly over a 28-day period. But there was one big exception for the pilots of cargo planes. Sully joins us from San Francisco this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Nora. Hi, Charlie.
So good news for commercial pilots, but you say this exemption for cargo pilots is very dangerous.
You know, fatigue is fatigue, whether you're carrying packages or people. And while the rule improves safety for passenger flights, it does nothing for cargo flights. And that's really ironic because cargo pilots, as you can imagine, flying overnight, are the most vulnerable to fatigue. You wouldn't want your surgeon operating on you after only 5 hours of sleep, or your passenger pilot flying the airplane after only 5 hours of sleep. And you certainly wouldn't want a cargo pilot flying a large jet over your house at 3 a.m. on 5 hours of sleep trying to find the airport.
This seems so obvious and fundamental, so why was the exception made?
On the benefit of a cost-benefit analysis. There are still many in the industry who are trying to make economic arguments about an important safety issue. And I think the FAA in its calculations greatly underestimated the harm, the value that could be done due to a large cargo aircraft crash. Just one recent example was the 1992 crash in Amsterdam of a Boeing 747 that killed 43 people, 39 on the ground.
Well, and Sully, we just had on August 14th, we covered that crash. That UPS plane crashed on when it was trying to land in Birmingham, Alabama. It actually ended up hitting a field, so the two pilots died. What if that had crashed in a city?
It could have been catastrophic. It's a tragedy that the two pilots died, but it could have been much worse. And while we don't yet know how much of involvement fatigue played in this crash, I'm sure the investigators are looking at all the factors. This certainly fits the pattern, the profile of an accident flight that might have.
I get the sense that you're sort of outraged by this and think that the safety considerations ought to be, and you want to speak out.
Yes, the original title of the piece was One Level of Safety, and that should be true whether we're talking about regional airplanes versus major airliners. It should be true whether we're talking about cargo airliners or passenger planes. Fatigue is fatigue.
Exactly. Captain Sullenberger, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.